Hi ladies and gentlemen, and Chris of the Polish Geek welcomes you to another review. A review of the new Netflix miniseries Asterix and Obelix The Big Fight, or actually I prefer to call it like it's called in the original French, as well as in Polish, Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs. And did it live up to my expectations? Oh my gosh, yes! So much so, like, I really loved Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs because I'm a huge Asterix fan in general. I grew up reading all the comics as well as watching all the cartoons, and even the first two live action movies were great. The subsequent live action movies were not particularly good, but the first two were great. But yes, I very much grew up on Asterix comics and Asterix cartoons, and there was one comic that was really good. In Polish it's called Asterix Odyssey, and then apparently the English translation is called Asterix and the Black Gold, something like that, but whatever, either way, it's one of the best Asterix stories, and I really wish it got an animated adaptation someday. It totally deserves it, but neither here nor there. Like, Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs, like, we've been hearing that this is gonna be very much stay true to the spirit of Asterix comics in the cartoons, while still trying to do something different and unique. And was that the case? Very much so. Like, it did feel pretty unique and has done something that I don't feel Asterix has done before, while still very much staying completely true to the spirit of Asterix and Obelix in general. The first thing we have to talk about is the beautiful and spectacular and gorgeous animation. Like, we've already been seeing on the trailers that the animation will be pretty unique, like in that it's gonna use the computer-generated animated style of the Asterix, The Secret of the Magic Potion, while also kind of using elements of the comics and cartoons, and that very much was the case. You can basically say the animation style is kind of similar style to Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, as well as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And now, Asterix. And in the animation department, the miniseries completely doesn't disappoint. Like, the animation was simply so beautiful, so gorgeous, so colorful, and just feast for the eyes. I really loved the animation. It's like one of the most beautifully animated, computer-generated animated shows I ever seen. So in the animation department, the show is a straight up 11 out of 10. And of course, obviously what we all want in our Asterix and Obelix cartoons is plenty of awesome, funny humor full of modern pop culture references, and Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs very much fully brims with that. Like, the jokes are all really funny, so clever and so well written that you will have a lot of hard time just trying to stop your laugh, because the jokes and the humor here is excellent. And as I said, the modern pop cultural references are also really fantastic, and while they do also make some references to modern politics, thankfully it doesn't really take sides, more like just really makes fun of everything, while still very much telling its story in a classic Asterix fashion. And another thing I really loved about it is that this is very much story first and foremost, because, and that was especially the case with the later live action Asterix movies, that they're more about just full of funny jokes and pop cultural references without any actual substance or story. But even though that's absolutely not what original Asterix comics or cartoons for that matter were, like look at Asterix The Secret of the Magic Potion, which is a similar case. Sure, it still very much rightfully contains all the modern pop culture references and all the classic Asterix humor and all that, but first and foremost, it's telling a story. And Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs pretty much does the same thing. Again, pop culture references and all the humor and all that are all happening while still the story is being told. And that's very much what Asterix should be, and what original Asterix comics all very much were about. Like, characters still have arcs and all that, and actually the friendship between Asterix and Obelix is much more emphasized here, which I really liked actually. In fact, the very first episode basically is like an origin story and basically shows us how it all happened, that Obelix fell into the cauldron with the black potion in the first place, because in all the previous things, in all the previous comics and cartoons and even live action movies, we constantly just see how Obelix wants to drink a magic potion only to get told by Getafix, Panoramix in Polish he's called, but told by the druid Getafix or Panoramix, whatever, "Oh no, Obelix, you fell into the cauldron when you were a little kid." But here we actually see the first episode is very much an origin story where we see Asterix and Obelix as little kids and how they're being bullied, and then Obelix finds this cauldron with the magic potion and falls into it. And I really love that. I actually seen some people saying they thought this prequel story was completely unnecessary, but personally, I loved it. I thought it very much added even more interesting and distinct flavor into the story. And there is also a new character who hasn't shown up ever before, not even in the original comics that this technically takes inspirations from, but a Roman teenager named Metadata, who actually is the one that organizes the title or Battle of the Chiefs. And at first I thought that she might end up like one of those annoying girl bosses. Like, in fact, based on her very first appearance I thought, oh no, are they really going down that way? But no, she actually ended up being a really great character of its own, a really nice and welcome addition, and I also really like her character arc. If there is one tiny problem I did in fact had with Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs is that some of the voice actors didn't really click with me. I admittedly watched it in Polish dub, because when it comes to Asterix I almost always watch in Polish dub, but the actor who actually voiced Asterix in the Polish dub, he didn't really click with me. Maybe, but that might be because of my bias. I'm used to the different actor who voiced Asterix in the old cartoons, and he kind of got really stuck in my head as the one who always voices Asterix in the Polish dub, so this actually might be the reason why this new Polish voice actor didn't really click with me. But other than that, Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs now will rank among the greatest Asterix adaptations, together with the 12 Tasks of Asterix, Asterix the Secret of the Magic Potion, and the live action Asterix and Obelix Take on Caesar. That's right. This miniseries now very much ranks as among my favorite of the Asterix adaptations. So if you're an Asterix fan like me, then what are you waiting for? If you have Netflix, go ahead and watch Asterix and Obelix The Battle of the Chiefs, because this totally deserves your attention and very much honors the spirit of René Goscinny comics. But overall, by Totatis, I have to say I'm very much pleased with Asterix and Obelix Battle of the Chiefs. And I'm really hoping that maybe the creators are gonna tackle more Asterix comics now for the miniseries. Maybe Asterix Odyssey, or as in English it's called Asterix and the Black Gold, because this comic totally deserves an animated adaptation. But again, really pleased with Asterix and Obelix The Battle of the Chiefs. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out this review. Press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you then. Bye.